everyone. This is Meghan Trapp with Hurrdat Marketing Agency, and I have the president, Bill Hipsher, with us today. So super excited.
Good morning.
Welcome, Bill. So tell us, what are we doing here today?
So you brought me here to interview me a little bit about our company and our history and myself, but we've had that conversation before on other podcasts that we have, and I've been interviewed. So kind of thinking that I'd like to flip the script and ask you a few questions about why we're doing this podcast and your role at Hurrdat and who you're going to have on and what we're going to be talking about. So if you don't mind, I'm going to kind of turn it around on you and just tell me a little bit about the idea for this podcast and how it came to be.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously as Hurrdat's grown, we've grown from website development to social media to print and publication. And now Hurrdat Media includes podcasting. So it's just another way that we can reach business owners and other marketers and connect with them. We have so much expertise in on our team and under one roof that I'm so excited to bring them in and have them share in a way that, typically only our clients would hear. And now we can share that with everyone else. So.
Great. And you're a big part of that expertise. Maybe you can tell listeners where you came from, a little bit of your history, how we ended up getting you here in Omaha with our company, which is kind of a funny story in itself. So
yeah, it's been a winding road, but I know I found my home here at Hurrdat. So my background was in fashion merchandising, and I really liked the marketing aspect of that. So transitioned to an agency that focused on local search and really caught the local search bug. Love nerding out about Google and their algorithm and how we use Google My Business and search. And growing with that company eventually moved me back to Nebraska, where I'm originally from. And that's how I found Bill and found Hurrdat, knowing that we had so much work and so much that we could offer local businesses here in Omaha. And now we've expanded even to Salt Lake and Lincoln. Just knowing that there's a process, a particular way to optimize that we can help these businesses, and how can we do that in a scalable and affordable way is what I've been working on for the past 5 years at Hurrdat. And then it's taken me many different places because local SEO is not in a bubble. It really does connect with traditional SEO, like on-site SEO. It is an element of how we design and develop websites, how social media can drive traffic to those sites and connect with Google My Business. And then paid, of course, is another piece of Google's algorithm. So it goes hand in hand with all the other things we were already building out. And for me, it just was something I could put my fingerprint on because of my past experience.
It's funny, when we first started Hurrdat and moved into our first offices, we were still doing construction around us, Brandon and myself and Aaron and a couple others. And before they painted the walls, I had drawn up kind of what local search looks like. And I think that was 2 or 3 years before you joined us. Mm-hmm. And it took us that long to kind of get some other pieces in place and be ready to really expand that. I think I put that job posting up maybe the day you might have found it that day that we put the posting up. And we thought hiring for the position would be a really hard position to hire for because local search was still relatively new. SEO was known, but referring to local search as a specific practice that's within SEO wasn't talked about very regularly. So we didn't know if we would find the right person to fill that role or who it would be. So I think, worlds collided at exactly the right time because you were in Columbus, right?
Yeah.
And you came back here.
Yeah, and exactly that's how I felt when I started looking for another position. I was like, I'm going to be doing something that's not this. I'm going to be dabbling in SEO, or I'm going to be filling some social media position. That's not my forte or my passion, but I found the posting and I think I hunted you down. I was like, we got to talk about this. It's perfect.
That's awesome. Tell me a little bit about who you're going to have on, episodes you're going to cover, especially in season 1 here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We have an awesome lineup. So we have everyone from our SEO director, Ross, to come in and talk about traditional SEO and how the Google algorithm takes those factors and what businesses can do to optimize for that, because I feel like sometimes it's just such a black box, how did I get to the top, or how come I can't be found? So we're so excited to have him on. We'll have Bailey and Max on. Max is our creative director and Bailey, director of content, because there's so much that goes into creating a brand. And how does a small business start on that? What are the elements they need to consider? We have Allie Berkey and Kirsten Smith on from more of our paid and social teams. Kirsten's director of social and Allie's director of paid. So those go hand in hand a lot of times when you're looking at like amplifying what we're doing. So social driving traffic back to the site or driving a conversion of sorts. And that's obviously hand in hand with paid because it takes a little budget sometimes to amplify that message. So we just have a full lineup of awesome experts under our roof and a lot of topics. Basically, why we were thinking about this podcast is because our account managers, myself, we get asked questions all the time by clients. How do I do this, or what should I be doing? And realizing like we're in it all day long, those are easy answers for us typically, or we know where to find an answer. But business owners realizing like, hey, this information isn't readily available. Like you'd have to become an expert yourself. So how can we offer that expertise externally to somebody else that's not just an existing client?
Well, I'm really excited to hear all the episodes. I get to hear the experts on our team develop strategies and go through blue sky sessions where we can dream up new ideas and think about the future and diagnose problems that clients come to us with. I get to hear it all the time. For the last almost 10 years now, I've been working with a team that honestly, like not going too far to say that I would put them up against any other SEO website digital marketing team. Like they work extremely well together. And I think part of that is just the amount of time that everybody's been together in an industry where we have a lot of turnover. Like we've been extremely fortunate to have a team that's stuck together 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And their knowledge, not just of the industry, but of how their coworkers work, how they think, what they're going to bring to the table, I think sets them apart. And hope that comes through in the podcast. I'm sure it will. And look forward to hear what you guys bring.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, I know the other rewarding part for us is that as we're sharing this information, in the past, it's just been with our clients, but as we've been sharing that with them and giving them the tools and the strategies and the recommendations and executing it, of course, it's been great to see their growth and their progress and really see how it can change like their businesses or their lives, especially on the small business side. And that's why it's rewarding for us. So I'm really excited to reach like a much broader audience with that type of information.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for interviewing me. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening.
I've Heard That is a part of the Hurrdat Media Network. For more information, follow Hurrdat on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Instagram, or visit hurrdatmarketing.com.
A Hurrdat Media Production.